Torah study. What we're doing now. Learning Tanya. Or whether it's 7 o'clock in the morning, we're learning Hasidus. Or around 8:40 every morning, we're learning Chumash, the Torah portion, and Rashi. Or after this class, Rambam. It is all part of the Torah. And what's unique about it when we study Torah? More unique than even doing a mitzvah. Now, on one hand, Torah teaches us how to do the mitzvah. So Torah is there for the mitzvah. So it's a means to an end. On the other hand, there's something special about Torah. God's divine wisdom. His divine wisdom, we study it. There's a great pleasure in appreciating, knowing the divine wisdom. Divine wisdom becomes our wisdom. So there's something special and unique about it that you don't have otherwise. Welcome to Tanya today. I'm Rabbi Fine, coming to you from Chabad Zirch Kadesh in Montreal, Canada, where it's a privilege and a pleasure to share with you the Tanya. When it comes to doing a mitzvah, we've learned that a mitzvah is a connection. What kind of connection? Well, the soul's connection is similar to like the body and soul's connection. The organs of the body to the person. Are they a part of you? Absolutely. Body and soul connection is a very profound connection. That's what gives us life. Right? The body's animated by the soul. Then there is the physical body is also connected. Not just the soul is connected through doing the mitzvah, but the physical body is also connected to God through doing a mitzvah. That is not as a deep connection. Metaphorically, we have the soul is connected like body and soul are connected to each other. Metaphorically, the body is connected to God through the act of the mitzvah, the physical act of taking a coin and giving it to charity, the physical act of wrapping tefillin, the physical limb is engaged in the mitzvah, is bound up, the physical limb, not just the spirit of the person, but its connection is like a rider to the vehicle, right? A rider to the chariot. They're connected, meaning the driver is fully in control over the vehicle. So there's a connection, but not as deep a connection as the soul's connection through the act of the mitzvah. But now we come to the study of Torah. There's even a deeper connection, a more profound unity and oneness with God when we study Torah, which we're doing right now. You see, in the act of the mitzvah, the unity is bringing two things together metaphorically. What are the two things? Body and soul. Body and soul are inherently come from two different places in creation. They're seamlessly one inside of me and inside of every one of us. Right? There isn't a part where the body starts here, finishes here, and the soul starts here and finishes there. No. Seamlessly is one. Yet, they're not as one in the sense that they're two, that they come together as one. Again, body comes from one place, soul comes from another place. And likewise, the physical body, when it's engaged in the mitzvah, it is metaphorically like a rider and the vehicle. The rider who controls the chariot, the vehicle. Right? The vehicle has no will of its own. It's completely nullified to and in control of the rider. So likewise, when we do a mitzvah, we're completely nullified to the divine, the rider, the ultimate rider, God, who's riding us, as it were. But yet, of course, there's a separateness between the vehicle and the rider. When it comes to study of Torah, on the other hand, what is studying of Torah? When you think and speak it, right? It's an expression of the innermost divine will of God itself. In other words, that God wills that this should be kosher or not kosher, valid, invalid, pure or not pure, innocent or exempt, whatever it is, right? The halacha, right, expresses the divine will. So the unity which when we study Torah is far surpassing even body and soul. It's like because body and soul again are two separate entities. But now there's a deeper union, and this is in study of Torah. What is the metaphor? It's like the core essence of the soul with the powers of the soul. The powers of the soul are 3 parts of intellect and 7 components of emotion. Is that the core essence of the soul? No, but it's the power of the soul. It's the quality of the soul, but it's not the essence of the soul. Yet they're of the same fabric, because the essence of the soul, from it emerges the 10 qualities of the soul, 10 powers of the soul. 10 powers of the soul come from the essence of the soul. That's a much deeper unity. It's not like body and soul that come from different places. Right? So the union that we have with God is like the power of the soul, the quality of the soul, with the soul, the essence of the soul itself. That's a much greater unity. So when one studies Torah, as we're doing now, we're united with the divine will and wisdom, and an absolute one with God himself. Not like two things coming together. So, for example, when you're doing a mitzvah, what are you doing? God says, do this. So you're doing what he said. When you study the Torah, you're studying the will itself, not what you should do with that will. That's what the mitzvah is. So therefore, it's much deeper unity. When you do a mitzvah, like putting on tefillin are on you. When you study Torah about tefillin, then the wisdom of God is in you. His wisdom becomes your wisdom. His will becomes your will. His vision becomes your vision. A much deeper unity. Metaphorically, if you will, if you take architectural plans, king wants to make a palace. The architectural plans, the architect's plans are an embodiment of what the king wants. They embody what the king wants. When you study it and you know what the king wants, and you know his wisdom, because his wisdom is there in the plans. Now, when you take, based on those plans, and you take a piece of wood and you put it on a panel and you put it over here and you put a door over there, you're now fulfilling what he wants. But the study of it and the knowledge of it is not as being aware of the will and the wisdom of the king himself, which goes to bring out the idea that's a much deeper unity and a oneness. It's an absolute oneness. As opposed to when you're doing the mitzvah is on you. It's like the organs of the king that are the mitzvahs with the king himself. Right? Like the body with the soul. So, of course, a unity when you do a mitzvah, but the study of Torah is a deeper oneness that we have with God. And therefore, the soul is always yearning and wants to study Torah. As all of you are here, many reasons why we study Torah. We study Torah so we have pleasure in it. We study Torah so we know what to do in life, how to lead our lives, right? And here we have a concept of studying Torah because it's a union with God that is the deepest. And that's what the soul yearns. Soul yearns for union, oneness. Right? The body isn't looking for oneness. It's not looking for purpose. It's not looking to be united. Not looking for connection. The soul is. And in that connection, there's different levels of it. There's the connection that the body has through the acts of the mitzvah. There's a unity that we have with God. Right, like the rider with the vehicle. There's the soul's connection that it has with God through doing the mitzvah, which is like a union of body and soul, the organs of the king with the king. And then there is the deepest unity, what we're doing now, the study of Torah. That is a unity like the powers of the soul with the soul itself. Which the powers of the soul come from the soul itself. The soul doesn't come from the body, and the body doesn't come from the soul. They come from two different sources in creation. The body comes from the earth that when God created Adam. And then the soul was blown into a part of God. Two different sources. And hence, in the metaphor, when we do the mitzvah, the act of the mitzvah, the soul is united with God. But the perfect, complete unity, that there is no unity like it, no connection like it, in the study of Torah. Because in the study again, you are knowing Him, exactly what His divine wisdom is, His divine will is. You're studying it. You're studying Him. And knowing Him, understanding His wisdom becomes our wisdom. And His vision becomes our vision. Absolute oneness with Hashem. And that's today's class. Short, but powerful. All right.
So you need a partner to learn.
That's how we... No.
To speak. We have to speak to each other. That's why they have couples. I think.
Okay. All right. I mean, yeah, but that's
why you're doing what you're doing right now.
Yeah. All right, folks. Rambam coming up. I'm Rabbi Ronnie Fine, coming to you from Chabad Zuch Kadesh, Montreal, Canada. It's a privilege and a pleasure to share with you the Tanya. Have an amazing, great day. Thank you for joining.